All right, before we move on to our guest on this show, let me first bring you this breaking news that we are getting. Shunglu, the man who was the head of this committee that has come out with this indictment, this torn apart the Aam Aadmi Party government's procedural lapses. Shunglu has said that he's not the judge. He's not presenting any wrongdoing or right doing in this case. He is only presenting the facts about how procedures were not followed.
मेरा टाइमिंग से तो कोई मतलब नहीं है, तो मेरे से टाइमिंग का मत पूछो। मैंने कोई ना रॉन्ग डूइंग फाइनलाइज की ना राइट डूइंग, मैंने सिर्फ जो तथ्य थे अपनी रिपोर्ट में लिखे हैं।
All right, joining me on Delhi Dangle this evening is Atishi Marlena of the Aam Aadmi Party. We are also being joined by Kiran Walia of the Congress Party. Atishi, let me first come to you. You heard Shunglu. He's saying that he's not a judge to give anything, to talk about right or wrong. But Atishi, how do you explain how will a party that always spoke about high probity in office, that spoke about morality, that had an anti-corruption stand, how do you then explain these scathing findings about nepotism, the charges of nepotism and favouring your own?
I think, Ankit, first of all, I would like to say that we still stand by exactly those principles of probity, of anti-corruption and clean politics and governance. And if possible, I would like to say that these so-called charges that are being levelled by Shunglu committee against the Aam Aadmi Party government or any member of it, if possible, the courts of law should give double the punishment to Aam Aadmi Party people if possible, as is necessary for any given crime. But let it come to the fore, what is the crime that has actually happened? This committee has sat on 400 files, mind you, 400 files for a period of 6 months. Remember, Mr. Shunglu headed a committee 3 years back in Delhi, the famous Commonwealth Games Committee. What kind of corruption did he find there? 70,000 crores. Can anyone tell me what is the corruption that has been found by the Shunglu committee in a 6-month period with 400 files that they have examined? Nothing.
Atishi, I'll tell you what. Let's not compare their corruption versus us.
No, let me complete. Let me complete what I'm saying, Ankit. I am actually saying there is no financial corruption. There is absolutely nothing that the Shunglu committee report has found, and that is the reason, despite the fact that this committee report has been finalized for months, how is it that it's been released on the eve of the MCD elections to show that some so-called corruption has happened when actually
all right, you calling it the so-called corruption? Let me Atishi, we'll come to it point by point. We'll come to it point by point. Let me also get in my other guests on this and get their let me get our other guests for their opening comments. Atishi, I'll come to you. Let's not speak over each other. Kiran Walia, Atishi Marlena of the Aam Aadmi Party saying there is no financial corruption. She's saying that this is so-called corruption. We have not done anything wrong. It's not like what Congress, in Congress time, the Commonwealth Games was unearthed. We have not done anything wrong. They are still sticking to this point. How do you, question them? What do you say to them when a minister appoints his own daughter for a post that she's not even, possibly her CV does not even justify it?
I think she should not deflect the debate. I'll need another debate with her on this whole issue of what she's accusing the Commonwealth Games. The Delhi government had no accusation on it, and Mr. Kalmari was even, had to face the consequences, whoever indulged in it. But here, misuse of public office for private gains is a definition of corruption. This is what Kejriwal government has indulged in. And this is actually so shocking, so shameful, and embarrassment for any democratic setup, and least of all those who take an oath in public domain, in Ram Leela ground, that, this is what we are going to stand for. However, all this is shattered and withered away. What is important today is, I have been a Minister for Health, I have been a chairperson Delhi Commission for Women. None of this we could ever dare to indulge in. You have Nikunj Agarwal, a relative of Mr. Kejriwal, made an OST to the health minister. It was shocking for me. And so many files are being routed through him for procurement of medicines, for equipments and everything and so on and so forth. Every doctor is, ridiculing it and hurt about it. Mr. Satyendra Jain appoints his daughter. I strongly oppose this because his daughter, who is an architect, no professional qualification, and they all go on tours. Don't forget when the Lieutenant Governor called them during chikungunya to come back to the city. Then least at the last but not the least,
let me
I have one question for you.
Rahul
Basi, I will let you ask that question. Let me get Sardar Arpi the BJP also in this. I will just request both you ladies to let the gentleman from the BJP also speak. Then I will allow the cross question. Atishi, just be patient. Sardar Arpi Singh, when the Aam Aadmi Party says we have not done anything wrong and they raise a finger at the opposition and they say that it is the timing that is suspicious. It is just because before the MCD election it has been released. Possibly there is no substance in it. You only want to gain the public perception battle against the Aam Aadmi Party. How do you respond to those charges? Do you think they will hold?
Simple one charge and let them answer it. Did they appointed people without any confirmation or any noting or any administrative approval from the from the government? Paid 87,000 rupees to 1,50,000 rupees as salaries. Whose money was it? People were not entitled for that sort of salary. People who didn't have CVs for that sort of salaries. Only to oblige your people. I mean, it's not merely nepotism. It's also corruption because you're obliging your relatives. That's the issue. I mean, you can laugh at it, but the people will laugh at you after the election.
We'll see that who laughs on who after the election result of the MCD comes through. Atishi, let's go point by point. Atishi, let's go point by point. I will ask you, I'll just want to take your attention to the first three things that I want to ask you, and try and explain it to me. When Soumya Jain was appointed as the advisor in the Ministry of Health, what was the qualification? Her CV did not justify that she has some expertise in the Mohalla clinic. She's an architect by profession. But the point number two is allotment of the land. The set procedures clearly say that land is a subject that comes under the Lieutenant Governor. You went ahead, you gave yourself, the Aam Aadmi Party, an office at 206 Rouse Avenue, and also the allotment to MLA Akhilesh Pratap Tripathi. They are saying the house that has been given has only been given for this MLA, a furnished residential house in guise of an office. How do you respond to these charges first?
Ankit, 2-3 things I would like to say. First of all, of course, the fact that this is election season, and in election season all these charges come against us. And of course Congress and BJP are completely clean, non-corrupt parties. And Aam Aadmi Party is the paragon of corruption, which loots all the money in the country and gets
to only answer the question that I'm asking. It's not about who is corrupt or not. Let's just stick to what we are discussing here.
First let me complete what I'm saying. And it's been very clear that they tried exactly the same strategy in February 2015, and we know what happened. Everyone knows the fact that even now Aam Aadmi Party is winning in the MCD elections, and so everything is being tried by the Congress and the BJP.
Me and you are here along with the other guests to talk about the Shunglu committee, not to campaign for your party. Can we come back to the points and the scathing remarks that the committee has made, please?
Absolutely. Number two, Shunglu committee. Yes. Number two, on the Shunglu committee, I still stand by the fact that let any court of law, as Mr. Shunglu himself has said, he has not said any judgment on right doings or wrongdoings. He has only written this is what has happened. Let the matter go to any court of law. Any court of law, you take it to the High Court, you take it to the Supreme Court, you take it to the International Court of Justice and prove 1 rupee of financial corruption that has been done by this government. Number two. Number three, I will actually argue that the loss to the exchequer, which is also corruption, has happened because of the Shunglu committee. Will the Lieutenant Governor's office and will the central government that approved this committee answer for the loss of public exchequer by the fact that an illegal committee, which was not constituted under any provision of the Government of Delhi Act or the Transaction of Business Rules, sat on 400 files for 6 months, paralyzed an elected government who is who is going to bear the loss for that public exchequer? Who is investigating into the fact that by this paralysis, how much money has the city of Delhi actually lost?
Okay. I have to take a break at this point of time. I will come back out of this break and I will go to both my guests from the Congress and the BJP about whether these charges will stick if they are taken to the court. So I will go to the Congress guests and as well as the BJP to get a sense on how much, whether all this Shunglu committee report can only be a political tool or whether the substance in it can also be utilized against the Aam Aadmi Party legally. Live from Vijay Chowk in the national capital, right in the heart of the national capital. With me on the Shunglu committee report right now, my guest Atishi Marlena, also Kiran Walia from the Congress and RP Singh from the BJP. Kiran Walia, all that we are talking about when the Aam Aadmi Party says that it is only because for political gains that this committee report has come out now, can this be turned into a legal battle? Can Aam Aadmi Party legally be trapped after this committee report? Is the Congress going to do something about that?
Of course, we have already asked for a CBI inquiry under the authority of the court, and the CBI would be then answerable both to the court and to public. But the issue is trying to deflect the issue. I can easily clearly see by the Aam Aadmi Party today, they're not talking on the point. Shunglu committee becomes very important if it passes any judgment on the Congress government. Shunglu committee is meaningless and is itself in the wrong if it says anything against the Aam Aadmi Party. These are the kind of dual standards. Number two is the confines of law. The four walls of the law which the Kejriwal government has never learned to function within. And that is how, you know, we were able to do many things and without these kind of allegations on any one of us. Thirdly, what is very important is they're literally plundering and looting this city and the country and the taxpayers' money. That's extremely important. Whether there are advertisements which were sent in other cities, so for their political ambition,
coming from the Congress
have really
about anyone looting the country.
Money. And for me, no, this taxpayers, please allow me to speak. This taxpayers' money is plunder. And I'm sure the people are going to see. Now to say
people are going to see. We'll see that. We'll see that during the elections. Let me get RP Singh also in. RP Singh, as Atishi Marlena is saying that they don't even consider. They don't even consider this Shunglu committee report for holding any significance. They call it illegal. They call it unconstitutional. They challenge you to take it to the court. They are saying only if it goes to the court and the court says something, we'll believe that. Then we will say, fine, we did something wrong. Till then, you can't question us.
They went to the court to get the report, to get the Shunglu committee nullified also, but they were turned down by the court. But issue is not that. I mean, he says they are beyond corruption. Is the only sitting chief minister in Delhi against whom there's a FIR of 450 crore rupees in Delhi Jal Board scam. Is the only CM in Delhi which has a 97 crore rupees ordered by Supreme Court committee to be recovered from him. Is the only chief minister who was misused for his personal cases, the public money of 3.5 crore rupees. So what are they talking about? They're talking about corruption. They are the most corrupt
I'm
party
completely
today.
out of time. I quickly just want to go to Atishi. Atishi, when you raise these questions against any government, when you form a committee against Arun Jaitley and DDCA, then all those committees are fair. Otherwise, everybody needs to wait for a legal order against you, for a court order against you. Don't you think that people are now seeing through the Aam Aadmi Party? These were the very questions that you used to raise at a drop of a hat against any political party. Quickly, Atishi, I only have 20 seconds for you.
Ankit, we are extremely happy to have a CBI inquiry. We are extremely happy to have any other inquiry against us. Let any inquiry, as I said, prove a single penny of corruption. And I, in fact, even want that the Shunglu committee should extend its brief and maybe even do an examination of the corruption in the MCD.
All right, I'm completely out of time. MCD corruption also needs to be investigated. And as Atishi is saying, they are ready for a CBI probe. Now we will have to see what is the next step as far as this explosive report of the Shunglu committee against the Delhi government is concerned. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of Delhi Dangal. I'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Keep watching India Today.